Welcome back to the Easy Breezy Machinist up to level 40 guide. This is Shadowbringers 5.0. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell for future content. Level 35, we get Heat Blast. Lowers an attack of the potency of 200. Additional effect reduces the recast timer of both your Gauss round and Ricochet, which we'll get later on, by 15 seconds. Can only be executed when in firearm overheated. In other words, by using your hypercharge. Recast timer cannot be affected by status effects or gear attributes. It is instant cast with a weapon skill cooldown. Essentially, you want to use this guy while your Gauss round has at least one or less charges. You definitely don't want to pop this with 2 charges or your Gauss round having 4 charges. Later on, you're going to do basically the same for Ricochet. Just make sure that they're not maxed out. So, and finally finishing up with the Autoturret and the Rook Overdrive. The Autoturret, basically you spawn it. It's the same, similar to the old Autoturret, but you don't actually place it and you don't actually control what it attacks. So you only control the initial attack, and after that the target has to die in order for it to shift to another target. Examples of 50 charge, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100. And I will also give you an example of the timers and the potency. My character doesn't have amazing stats. It's kind of like an average stat at level 70, maybe a bit weaker, because I don't play Machinist all too much after Stormblood was over. But I will show you guys an example of pretty much everything that the Autoturret does, including the Overdrive, of course. The Rook Autoturret deploys a single target battle turret which attacks with volley fire, which is basically the auto attack, dealing 80 potency. This requires a battery gauge cost of minimum of 50. Duration increases as battery gauge exceeds the required cost. So basically 50 is 7 seconds, 60 is 9 seconds, 70 is 10 seconds, 80 is 12 seconds, 90 is 13 seconds, and 100 is 15 seconds. Consumes battery gauge upon execution, shuts down when time expires or upon execution of its Rook Overdrive. Now you can wait till it executes the overdrive on its own as soon as it hits 0 seconds, or you can activate the Rook Overdrive itself, and this basically does a single target with a potency of 400. The potency goes up incrementally depending on how much charge it had at the time of ability execution. Alright, this is going to be a Machinist up to level 40. This should be Cutter's Cry. I've been here plenty of times. Yep. So honestly, even charges such as the 60, 80, and 100, they seem to have the highest potency-wise. Just the 50 initial falls short of 560 total, whereas 60 goes up to 720. 70 is at 800, 80 goes up to 960, 90 is 1040, and of course 100 is 1200 potency. You can kind of see like the large spike of potency from odd numbers to even numbers. Let's get that out of the way. So remember, 2 or more targets, just go ahead and focus on your spread shot. Spread shot for 2 or more every single time. Let me do this into reassemble. And we're up against 2 or more targets, so that's 360 potency, 360, 360. Go back to single again. So just hold on to the hypercharge for a single target, and you should do just fine. Up against AoE, just completely ignore it. If your charge is at maxed out, don't really worry too much about it, because your potency will be lackluster. I might need to use my arm sling here, just in case I get hit by one of these mobs. So we're down to a single. Let's use our hot shot there. Just make sure you use that hot shot. I think I have the biggest issue with that hot shot, because much like from the level 30 guide, I completely ignore it after like the opener. Okay, AoE, spread shot, reassemble, spread shot again. I like to just hold on to my Rook charges until it maxes out. And then I can kill like a really beefy mob from pretty healthy to completely dead. So it's Heat Blast, off global, Heat Blast, off global, Heat Blast again, and then we have our off global. Let's go ahead and wait for that clean shot. Let's go ahead and toss my hot shot as well. Clean shot in. So I'm at 90% with my battery charge. I think I'll get it to 100% because of the extra auto attack. Remember, it's it's 80 potency per 3 seconds of auto attacks. So we're going to do that into this and get that out of the way. That's at 100%. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. They did quite a bit of a chunk on him. So there, I should have done a full potency of 1200, unless I did a critical and or direct hit. So let me do my reassemble into clean shot. And let's just keep doing the single target rotation. Till I get the charge. 1, 2, barrel, 1, 2, barrel, 1. Nope, not enough. And I keep forgetting to use my hot shot. Yep, hot shot is definitely an issue for me. Just make sure you guys remember to use it. I may need to pop my second wind so the healer can do more damage. Okay, so it's about to die. No one's using the limit break, so this looks like a situation where I can just finish off the fight without actually using my turret. But if I was frisky about it, I could have tossed my turret there and just immediately used the overload. It would have been enough to kill it instantly, but of course that also means that I would go down to 0 charge again. So it's all based on your form of playstyle and your the current situation that you're in, honestly. And that's good stuff. This has been Machinist up to level 40. If I missed anything, just let me know in the comments. Of course, there's the fancy mathematics that I did earlier on will also be in the description as well, much simplified, so you guys don't have to rack your brain over that stuff. But it's mostly just damage bonus. If you guys just focus it on 100 battery charge, if you're up against a single target like boss fights, you should do just fine. And as always, this is Tigris, and we'll see you guys next time for our next video.